Yeah, good crowd, about 11,000 in this Sunday to cheer on the Raiders, who haven't hosted the night since 2019. The Raiders won that day 17-10. It's been tough going for the Knights in the capital. Xavier Savage hopes to extend that today, Michael.
Yeah, on the back of the offloads from Papali, beg your pardon, and Joey Tarpany, Horsburgh through the middle. The big man, he's so dangerous with his speed. 235 metres last week, pushing around the ruck. Watching him warm up, just that acceleration, his ability to get on the outside of defenders, he is lethal. If he gets an opportunity, the conditions dry here, he could be a real factor for Canberra this afternoon.
Well, the Raiders about to kick us off after losing 5 straight. They've since collected 4 of their last 6, and they need to win today. Jordan Rapana puts boot to ball. Milford collects the kickoff and goes straight to David Clemmer. Clemmer against Tarpany, and Papali'i will be a feature of this one, and what a thrill for Leo Thompson.
Yeah, good run there. Leo Thompson, the former Raider, gets them up towards the 30-metre line. Strong carry there from Thompson.
There are a few former Raiders in this Newcastle lineup. Edric Lee, Anthony Milford, Mitch Barnett, and you're right, Leo Thompson played under 20s as a Raider, coming into this starting lineup for Adam O'Brien. Jacob Saifidi to come off the bench. This is Barnett finding the middle of the ground. And now Tyson Frizzell crossing halfway off that 42-6 defeat against the Panthers, Newcastle. Milford goes to the air, out towards the western sideline, and Young tried to swat the ball back. Instead, there's a penalty to Canberra, back where the kick was taken, Mick.
Yeah, well, you could see there Dominic Young. And they're saying that he's interfered. They want to challenge this. Clemmer's been penalised for interfering with the marker.
42. His time's up, guys. The time's up.
So the time has expired. The 10-second limit to mount the captain's challenge. David Clemmer said challenge, challenge, challenge. But Kalen Pong is back upfield.
Yeah, Kalen Pong is well away from the action. That's a fair penalty, I think. David Clemmer taking out Zach Wolford, it was, trying to get pressure on the kicker. And now the Raiders through Papali'i already into the Knights half. Great opportunity here for Canberra.
Papali'i, 26 offloads this season. Tarpany, here he is, his fellow starting front rower, 30 offloads. So 56 offloads between them. The starting 8 and 10. Newcastle, no doubt, alert to that as Papali'i. He'll hope to get more than the 28 minutes he played against Brisbane. Now Zach Wolford, Frawley, flat for Hudson Young. They find good position early, the Raiders. Hasn't this man emerged? Zach Wolford goes through Frawley. The Raiders winning their last 3 games with Frawley in the team, wearing 6. Or playing 6. He's in for Jack Whiten, of course.
Play the ball there, last tackle.
Final play for the Raiders. It goes through Fogarty, and they'll change it over in that north-eastern corner of the ground. Not a lot thrown at Newcastle on that final play.
Yeah, no, a reasonably flat set from the Canberra Raiders there. Didn't offer too much attack or anything that really troubled the Newcastle defensive line. And Canberra now, though, defensively in a really good position. Edric Lee trying to work it out from Newcastle's own line, only up to 12 metres. Clemmer now charging hard.
Let's go sideline. Good afternoon, Nico Pajarillo.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It is a perfect day for rugby league with the sun out in the middle of the day. It's probably as warm as it gets at this time of year. I'm excited for this game, gents. Adam O'Brien said midweek that the Newcastle Knights have been soft at times this season and that their effort in line speed against the Panthers was disappointing. We'll see how they bounce back today.
Absolutely stinging words, aren't they? There have been some soft moments, according to the coach. Some soft moments as Milford gets the kick away just beyond his 40-metre line. Has taken a deflection. Here's Xavier Savage. Savage beats 1-2. This exciting youngster in the fullback role.
Yeah, Hudson Young and Tyson Frizzell have just had a little set to in back play after Frizzell had that recent carry. Something happened in the tackle. Young has came out of it a little worse for wear, but a few words were said to each other. We'll keep an eye on that.
Wolford. And now Chris. Said Chris, Canberra's leading try scorer this season. Only 6, but still he's top of the tally for the Raiders as we see Jamal Fogarty just needing some continuity now. He's a few weeks back from that knee that kept him out for the first half of the season. Frawley measures his kick across the ground out towards Dominic Young, who uses his height and collects cleanly and beats a couple, taking good metres, Dominic Young.
Yeah, really nice kick there over the top looking for Chotrich, but Young did tremendously well in the air, and the energy defensively for Canberra's a little worrying. You could see just Young go straight through there. Their kick chase line pretty ordinary now. Ponga's gone straight through too.
Ponga out the other side. Where's the support for Cale? And he comes to Savage. And he's collected from behind Elliott Whitehead. Good signs Newcastle, especially for their captain, but he's gone back to a knee here. Adam Clune. Speaking of knees, he's dropped it.
I thought he hit the arm.
He's been out with a knee injury, parachuting back in jumper 21. What a let-off for the home team.
Ponga out of dummy half, just gets through the Papali'i tackle. Ordinary work at marker 2 from the Raiders. Real concerns for Ricky Stewart's men through the middle of the field. Dominic Young, this was the error from Clune, just playing at the arm, and Ashley Klein saying that Savage didn't touch the footy there. I'd like another look at that, but the way that Young sliced through off the kick return and then Ponga out of dummy half, straight through the front door of the Raiders, straight through the middle. Worrying signs for Canberra's energy defensively.
Shot clock off.
They've won 4 of their 6 games at home this year. Canberra beating the Sharks, the Titans, the Bulldogs and the Roosters. Taken down by the Cowboys and the Eels on their home deck. But it's been a tough hunting ground for the Knights coming to the capital. They haven't liked it at all. Just 6 of 26. Here's Adam Elliott. The Newcastle bound Adam Elliott. He'll be a Knight next year.
Geez, that's a strong run. Gee, they needed that. Tarpany now over the halfway line.
More than 200 metres. A couple of times in the last few weeks. This time he catches and passes for Fogarty. And Fogarty's wrapped up by Kurt Mann. Mann back from that torn artery in his ankle. Serious injury, rare injury. Good to see him back, and now Wolford Grubbers and Edric Lee. Newcastle's sole try scorer last week. Finds the middle of the field. So the Knights have actually won their last 3 against the Raiders. Both meetings last year.
He's in a bit of trouble here, Dominic Young. It was great tackle out of marker. Adam Elliott working hard.
All right, let's play the ball. Wait. Okay, time on.
Who's he going to play for at the World Cup, England or Jamaica?
Okay, 2.
Sean Wayne has just sounded out about Dominic Young. Here he is in replay. Nothing really clear there. Now, man. Ponga. He's drifting across the field this time. He's collected by Papali'i. And Milford gets the kick away. High down the ground. It's long towards Chotrich. You were high in your praise of Nick Chotrich as you called his game last week, Michael.
Yeah, outstanding. I think he's just getting better and better. Nick, he took a little while to find his best at the start of the year and probably didn't help the sides form. But certainly over the last 5 or 6 weeks, Chotrich and this man Rapana, when he's been in the side, they're so dynamic out of the backfield. Tackle busters, and it's hard to handle. They generate momentum.
Xavier Savage is hobbling badly in back play. We'll keep our eye on that as Tarpany takes a few more post-contact metres. Wolford finding Frawley. And Frawley pops the tackle from Chris Randall. Last play, it goes to Jamal Fogarty, high above GIO Stadium. It will come down in goal and be lost by Edric Lee. Now it's picked up by Adam Clune.
It's a tackle there. You got the ball. It's a tackle.
Yeah, just watch the effort here from Timoko. Out on the far side, the kick was definitely too long, but he's the only Raider there and he's competing. Edric Lee always good in the air. And it was the effort from Timoko that got there and forced the error. Huge play from the right centre from the Raiders. And Savage in back play, still in some discomfort. Oh yeah, he didn't like something in the tackle there. He just grimaced as Tyson Frizzell took him to the ground.
He's still moving the leg, trying to get it right as the goal line dropout. It's an awkward one, going 30 metres. It was no man's land. Collected by Canberra, and now Papali'i.
He's moving a little freer, Savage now. Good news for the Raiders fullback.
Joe Tarpany. What a fantastic season he's having. Most runs by a forward in the league, most run metres by a forward in the NRL. Fogarty. He's cut down 15 outs. But they're in great position, the Raiders. Wolford through Frawley. And he's wrapped up by Barnett. Adam Elliott catch and pass. It goes through their hands. Long now, Tarpany. Chotrich with Young in front of him, but Nick Chotrich is too good, too evasive. He gets the first try for the Green Machine.
Yeah, we're just talking about Chotrich and what a tackle buster he is. Well, he just stands up Dominic Young here, far too easy to hit and spin, but it's a ball from Joey Tarpany, the in-form Raiders front rower, lurking out wide, the former back rower. And the ball finds him out the back. They were actually looking for the kick, the Raiders, but through the hands of Tarpany. Chotrich did well out of the tackle of Dominic Young. Look at this. The big fella deep into the line, the cut-out pass. Chotrich cuts in and away, and Young just puts himself in an awful defensive position. Gave himself no opportunity. Just watch how he plants his feet at home. As Chotrich angles back in, he just plants his feet, loses all power, and that's too easy for someone of the calibre of Chotrich, who certainly knows his way to the line, and he's in great form, the Raiders winger, getting back to his best, and isn't it good to see?
Back where his NRL career started, in Canberra, interrupted by a season at Canterbury. His 4th try of the season, the local junior. And Nick Chotrich. Canberra, they've scored the first try now in 7 of their last 8 games. They've won 5 of 8 this season when scoring first, so a nice pointer.
And it came off the back of the Timoko chase on the kick from Frawley. It was. Sierra got a repeat set of 6, and the Raiders score their first try as Fogarty. He pushes that a little left.
Very good.
Look at this work again from Nick Chotrich. It's a great winger's finish with Dominic Young probably entitled to deny him here.
Yeah, well, I think the outside men thought Fogarty was going to kick over the top, but went through the hands, and as you said, beautiful work. Just got himself in a bad position, Young. And Chotrich, I mean, sometimes the TV angles don't give a real indication of the size of someone. When you're standing next to Nick Chotrich, it's like standing next to a telegraph pole. He is enormous. He's a big unit, Nick. And Dominic Young just put himself in the seat, they call it, defensively.
A nice little milestone for the Raiders junior. His 50th try for Canberra, the 53rd of his NRL career. The kickoff goes deep to Frawley, and Papali'i can bring them forward again. He started every game, Joe Tarpany. Josh Papali'i, a regular as well.
Matty, we've done some Newcastle games and they've come out and started well compared to some weeks, but all of a sudden the Raiders have found the first try. Now, when Newcastle have fallen in a hole, sometimes they fall in a big hole. This next 10-minute period for them is enormous in terms of the context of this game.
They were in a big hole when they lost 7 games straight not too long ago. Since that run, they've gone win-loss, win-loss. And the coach, that man, Adam O'Brien, we need to be more resilient more often. As Canberra complete the set with a kick long down to Ponga. And he'll go towards his winger, Young.
Yeah, really good kick there from Frawley. Always looks composed, Matt Frawley. Brings great age and experience to this Canberra side this afternoon without Jack White, and a lovely long kick after points. It was a strong run from Papali'i on the final play. And the Knights side now really struggling to get back behind the footy, and that's play 3 already.
Milford goes short to Frizzell. And this will help.
Mate, I gave Ryan the benefit of the doubt. Can't have 3 of yous.
A big boost for the Knights. Ash Klein, the referee today.
Kalen Ponga here just on his haunches again. We saw him have a really good dummy half run where he split the Raiders open in the opening set of the game. Beautiful footwork out of dummy half, but he's never looked comfortable since. We know lasted only 16 minutes last week after a head knock. We'll keep an eye on Ponga as Gagai now bumping and twisting up over the 30-metre line.
Those protocols after you're taken out of a game, HIA, there are 5 of them as the week develops. He's ticked the box through each of those stages now. Thompson puts it down. It's collected by Savage, who looks to be over that leg issue that plagued him a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that wasn't a good one there from Kurt Mann. He's come into this Knights side into the lock position earlier in the season. His ball playing made a real difference to the Knights attack, but just lacking confidence at the moment. And Thompson, he should have caught that. Adam O'Brien will be livid. Cheap turnover now. Adam Elliott grafting away through the middle.
Here's Tarpany on for Papali'i. We're surprised that Brad Schneider wasn't used in the halves. They went with Matt Frawley, 43 NRL games at Canterbury and Canberra. Would Schneider have come into calculations, Mick?
Yeah, certainly. He's a wonderful young player and did a great job for them early in the season. I just think the experience at short notice that Frawley brings.
Here he is dummying and straightening into the tackle from Randall. Yeah, Brad Schneider playing New South Wales Cup earlier this afternoon. He was forced off HIA as it turned out.
Oh, here he comes,
Rapana! Rapana was there. It went into an upright. It went into the padding. And that paid off for Newcastle.
Yeah, Jordan Rapana on the back of Hudson Young out a dummy half on the last. He got an offload to Fogarty. He just dribbled it in towards the upright. And lucky it was there. Bounced up perfectly. Ponga was coming across, but he was beaten for all money by Rapana, but the bounce,
Canberra
perfect.
Milk. The Canberra Milk saves them.
The big milk bottle, Matty. It's wreaking havoc here at GIO.
And still a problem for Kalen Ponga.
He is not well, is he?
It's been a tough set for Newcastle.
I must say, Matty, as Clean kicks the footy down and Savage catches on the full. Interviewing Kalen Ponga before the game, I didn't know whether he had that real stilly look in his eye or he looked unwell, to be honest. When I spoke to him, he was very quiet, and I didn't know if it was on the back of last week's head knock, if he still wasn't completely right, or if he was a little unwell or just quiet and focused. But watching his first few minutes here, he's struggling.
It's been an unsettling season for Kalen Ponga. On-field result, his own contract situation, some HIA concerns, niggling injuries. He's desperate to provide some happier times for Knights fans. Pushing himself to be out there perhaps as Frawley finds Tarpany. He combines with Papali'i, who found some room. Frawley was waiting for the offload, but Ponga shut it down just in time. Fogarty, his kick clatters into Newcastle. Pick up and the set restarts.
That's a collision, I believe. We're going to play the ball there, tackle 1, Jamal.
As we see Papali'i, he's coming from the field. Barnett it is that's down. Corey Horsburgh, tremendous last week. This was the final play. They're saying played at by Newcastle. Looked like it was just a lot of congestion of players and the ball was kicked into that. Lucky to get away with that, the Canberra side, as Saifiti's about to come into the action for Newcastle. Jacob it is.
And he'll have to tackle first off. Corey Horsburgh. Just short, it appears.
Corey, take it out.
Gee, that was a nice little short pass, something that the Raiders are doing really well over the last month. Their interchange of pass from their big men. That was lovely.
He scored last start. He thought he was in back-to-back games.
Barnett's gone here, Matt.
Yeah, the bunker has spotted that.
We'll get the replacement.
And Matt Croker will be the man to come on to replace Mitch Barnett.
He's had some good moments, Croker, hasn't he, since debuting? Got a lot of unpredictability about him. He can play a range of positions and got a nice offload and a bit of footwork.
Very popular individual playing his 10th NRL game. Matt Croker out there now. What about the ball playing from Tarpany? Likewise, Xavier Savage, and they're in through Matt Timoko. Timoko surges in. It was a simple shift to the right, and this destructive centre is on the end of it.
Yeah, he's such a handful and really starting to establish himself at this level. Matt Timoko having a great afternoon. He was the one that forced the error on Edric Leaf for the first try, and then a nice shift Tarpany ball playing out to Fogarty. Savage did well to catch and pass, but a horrible miss from Anari Tuala. One-on-one, great strength from Timoko, but that's nothing more than a one-on-one tackle that has to be made. And the power and the left fend of Timoko just shrugs off Tuala, and the Raiders in for their second.
He's fresh from big run meters last start against the Broncos. He and Joe Tarpany, the only members to start every game for the Green Machine this season. So the 22-year-old has been a picture of consistency in the centres for Ricky Stewart.
Yeah, he's been a brute at the lower levels, just shrugging off defenders at will like that, what we just saw him do to Tuala. And it's taken him a little bit of time to settle in at the top level, and he's had to evolve and not only have moments like that, but defensively is where it's taken Matt a little time to adjust to this level. The amount of strike and attack that comes towards you as a centre at this level. But certainly with the footy, he's getting better and better every week. And that was brilliant there from young Matt Timoko. Great strength, great footwork and acceleration. And Tuala, well, that's concerning, that miss early.
He's 11 from 13 this season. Jamal Fogarty, but he's missed his first couple here this afternoon. 8-0, Nico.
Yeah, he's one of the real shining lights in this Canberra side. Matt Timoko, just 22 years of age. That's his 6th try of this season. He scored that match-sealing effort here at this ground a couple of weeks ago against the Roosters. Just an update, guys, on Kalen Pong. A word from the Knights bench is that he's got an upset stomach that they're trying to address, and we'll keep you updated if anything develops in that regard.
There you go. He just looked a little pale when I spoke to him before the game.
And their big minutes coming up now for Newcastle. I've got them on the ropes right here with a query over their fullback, and that is too heavy from the kickoff. Matt Frawley played it perfectly, and they're in trouble, the Knights. They've conceded the first 2 tries. There's a question mark over Kalen Ponga, and they're not at home again.
Yeah, it started well for them. Dominic Young, a tremendous run on a kick chase straight through the Raiders line. It was Kalen Ponga out of dummy half, the same set that split the Raiders open. It looked like the Knights were here to play, and from that moment onwards, it's been all Canberra, and they're retreating defensively. They're coming up with ill-discipline and some errors. The Raiders fans enjoying this, and what an opportunity now for Canberra.
Straight after we bang the drum here in Canberra, we're off to Combank Stadium. Canterbury against West Tigers. Can the Bulldogs repeat what they did against the Eels last week? That's next on your Sunday ticket as Elliott goes inside the 20.
Origin sides to be announced tonight. Burton and Addo Carr. There's talk that they're in the frame for the New South Wales side.
Big news earlier on the Sunday ticket. That'll be discussed throughout the afternoon. We saw the RP Coruscant congratulations last night for Penrith as well.
Don't throw him off. You're milking, Elliott. Hold here. Play the ball.
On their own goal line again, the Knights. Here's Horsburgh.
Geez, he's starting to find his best again too after a couple of injuries over recent seasons.
Tarpany dummying and walking his way within a couple of metres. Wolford long, Fogarty through the line, beautifully! Flying through, Xavier Savage got there,
I think he's missed it. I think he might have missed it, Matty. Is it Timoko that's come through? Stephen Bradbury style.
The 6th tackle. I have no try, so I believe Xavier missed the ball, but then Matt Timoko knocks on.
Ash Klein's on the same page as you. Xavier Savage has had an air swing, and then Timoko maybe put off by his
kick
fullback.
Chasers on the right,
hasn't grounded.
onside.
Look at the acceleration here from Savage. He just leaves them in his wake. He misses it. Timoko
knocks it on.
Ooh, he's right. Ashley Klein, he's all over it. Newcastle dodge a bullet. But again, every time, Matt, that they're down attacking this Newcastle line, they look like they're going to score. Tarpany went close on the previous play.
Xavier Savage does not contact the ball. The ball is then knocked on by Matt Timoko. You have a decision.
Thanks, mate.
Well, Newcastle will breathe a big sigh of relief there.
Just wait.
Under the pump early, just over 20 minutes gone. It could have been 3 tries to nil.
I've got to wait for that first.
It very nearly was.
0 coming.
Now Edric Lee starts this set off for them.
Yeah, just look at the energy here of Canberra getting off the line, getting stuck into Newcastle. You're right, Matty. They smell like they're right on top of you, don't they? They can feel it, Canberra.
Oh, little fumble by Mann, who gets it back in time. Carry a moment go by Jacob Saifidi, who was part of that first Blues camp and spoke about his enjoyment of being part of that and learning about the preparation, looking at the likes of a Tedesco and a Cleary.
Yeah.
And saying that game preparation was his big takeout. But here's a penalty against Canberra. Is it Matt Frawley on report for crusher tackle? Look at it again. Yep.
I've got to wait for the bunker to clear it. Yeah, I've already put him on report. That's Matt, you're on report. Is here, Anthony, behind me.
Yeah, not a lot in that one, but a penalty sufficient. And Newcastle now, well, they haven't had a set down here in Canberra's half for quite some time. They'll need to make the most of it. They need to stay here and be patient, build some pressure, and take some petrol out of these middle forwards of the Raiders. Clemmer now.
Newcastle tackled just once in the opposition 20.
Yeah.
The Raiders 12 times. Backing up your point, Michael, but here they come. Clune onto Saifidi. His twin Daniel due back next round, round 16. Clune. Set restart. It's Milford who received a pass behind him and that stopped the run. Now, Ponga. Middle of the ground now. Man playing it. It goes to Milford. Brazil thought about the offload. And he drags in 4 defenders. Randall to Man.
Get up now. Back foot, Joe, wait.
Clune, long, hitting Milford, and there's a ball spilt. The tackle came from Timoko, and the ball came free.
Yeah, just talking about establishing himself defensively. There's some improvement in Timoko as Jordan Rapana racing out to the 20-metre line. Quick tap, and it's Seb Chris met strongly by Adam Clune. It wasn't Kurt Mann. But there's that last play. Timoko up in the face of Tuala, who's had an unhappy start. And a disappointing turnover from Newcastle, leaving Adam O'Brien seething in the coaching box.
What about the opening stints from Papali'i and Tarpany? Both of them up at 80 metres plus. And Joe has a breather. And we look at Ryan Sutton trot on in back play. So here's Hudson Young.
He's been tremendous, Hudson Young. The battle between him and Tyson Frizzell, a beauty here this afternoon.
Frawley through Savage, on to Sebastian. Chris almost away. It was a good tackle in the end from Dane Gagai, who stayed on his job. Horsburgh through Wolford, Fogarty, Elliott Whitehead now, and they straighten again through Timoko. Last play for the Green Machine. Fogarty just hangs it up across the face of goal! Up above them all spectacularly. What about that from Xavier Savage? He can run fast and he can fly.
Yeah, we saw some incredible moments at Combank Stadium last night. Joseph Suwali, Dylan Brown, some incredible tries. And this one, it's right in that class. Fogarty just lobbing it up above the Newcastle defence. Look at Savage flying up above Dane Gagai and reaching out, getting the footy down. And the Knights players, well, they're just sitting there watching while Canberra are playing and going after the contest and winning every little battle. And after Newcastle had their real opportunity down on the Raiders line, instantly Canberra go down there the next set and pick up their 3rd try of the afternoon. It's been a tough 25 minutes for Newcastle, but boy, Xavier Savage giving the Raiders fans plenty of optimism about what's ahead in the future.
The Cairns Kangaroo, now a Canberra Raider, and certainly providing some X factor. Xavier Savage. Career high run meters against Brisbane last start, 235. thought he could have even lifted that tally a couple of occasions, screaming out to back himself, to use that speed to take the defence on, but at 20 years of age, that will come. Here's Jamal Fogarty with his first successful conversion of the afternoon, and it's a handy lead to Canberra, 14-0.
Yeah, Fogarty's kicking game's been very good. He stepped up in the absence of Jack Whiten this afternoon. For all, he's been good, but you could just see the Newcastle defenders all looking in towards the footy, but the acceleration of Savage. Oh, he's enjoying it. Xavier Savage, he came around the back of the Knights defenders that were all looking in and sailed over the top of Dane Gagai. And there you see the live ladder. The Raiders up pressing, joining the Sydney Roosters and Manly just outside the 8.
When they lost Josh Hodgson, when they were without Jamal Fogarty, half their spine, and on that 5-game losing streak, you wondered what would happen to the Raiders. Well, they're back, finding form, applying pressure.
And playing with great confidence, and it's starting with their physicality with Papali and Joey Tarpany. We've seen that again this afternoon. The starts from Papali and Tarpany, both up towards the 100 metres in their opening stints. And on the back of that, there's plenty of momentum for the likes of Wolford and Fogarty and even Savage around the ruck. This man's been terrific in his injection. Horsburgh the offload.
Playing with confidence, Canberra. Sutton gets the ball away to Seth Chris, who stepped inside Randall and was cleaned up by Croker.
They're in big trouble here, Newcastle. Real big trouble.
These 14 minutes to half-time must seem like 44 for them. As Elliott goes through the hands, Fogarty. Savage bobbing up both sides of the fields. Grabbed by Inari Tuala. And now the ball thrown backwards. It came free, and it's been cleaned up by the Knights. Well, just what the doctor ordered, some possession against the run of play.
Corey Horsburgh flying out of the line, looking for a shot there.
Here's Jacob Saifidi, Nico Pajarillo sideline.
Gentlemen, Mitch Barnett has passed his HIA. He's free to return to this game.
Yeah, it's positive. They've missed him out on that left edge already. Makes such a difference, Barnett, to this Newcastle side. Always plays with intent and vigour.
And through Plume, Ponga, dummying and straightening into Horsburgh. Last play comes to Milford. He goes high down the ground. Young in a contest. Kottridge collects it safely.
Yeah, Sebastian Chris doing a tremendous job there, getting back, not illegally, but legally just getting his body in the way of Dominic Young. Not giving him a free run towards Chotrich, who was able to catch it. Rapin now working it out from his own line. The outside back's going to work here for Canberra. And a penalty, crusher it is, and a relieving one. Jacob Saifidi penalised.
So disappointing for Newcastle fans. Canberra pinned on their 10-metre line.
On play three.
So much play against them. They just let Canberra out of jail.
Yeah, just coming down over the top. Geez, again, not a lot in that, is it? It's so hard for the defenders when players back into the tackle.
Sunday night with Matty Johns after the next game. Dogs, Tigers. Josh Schuster and Jason Saab, a couple of Sea Eagles, joining Matty and the team later on tonight on Fox League.
Not with us, guys, not early. Wait here, wait.
So Chris, still 11 and a half minutes left in this game.
Yeah.
Before the break.
Wait.
Horsburgh, the man you call Big Red.
Big Red, yeah.
I get the feeling you're liking what you're seeing from Corey Horsburgh, Mick.
Yeah, he's battled with a few injuries over recent years. I thought the form at the back end of 2019 from Horsburgh and Emre Gula and the way that they handled the final series, and in particular Horsburgh, you know, there was talk of him playing Origin last year, and he just succumbed to a couple of lower leg injuries that kept him out of the game for a while, but he looks fit and he looks aggressive and he's back to his best, Horsburgh, and making a real difference for Canberra.
Career high run metres last start, 175 of them. Corey Horsburgh as his team goes inside the 20 again. This is Frawley Running out of room, Fogarty is shut down. They raced up quickly, Milford, and herded Fogarty back into the clutches of Jacob Saifidi. Here's Horsburgh with the offload, picked up by Wolford.
Knock on, was it?
No,
Knock on against the Raiders.
I don't think he
It's a
did.
knock on, not a pass, yeah? Knock on.
Yeah, I'm not sure he lost this. I think they might challenge it, Canberra.
Hit the player. In the middle. Shot clock on.
Oh, no. Yeah, there it is. Tyson Frizzell coming in, almost pinning the ball back into the grasp of Wolford, but a good call there from Ashley Klein. And the Raiders there, geez, that was another opportunity, wasn't it? They had the Knights on the back foot. Possession, look at that, 63% for Canberra. Newcastle holding on. They can't get Barnett out there quick enough.
The Warriors bound Mitch Barnett, about to return for Newcastle. Chihuahua is wrapped up just beyond his 10-metre line. He's Newcastle's leading try scorer, Anari, with only 5, but the most at the Knights this season. Dominic Young bursting onto the ball. Now Clemmer. This is a bit better from the Knights, or it was a bit better. It was a bit better. I think the knock-on beat the commentators' curse.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, geez, that's a good run from David Clemmer, straightening Newcastle with a bit of aggression. Adam O'Brien can't believe it. Newcastle, yeah, it's a shot from Hudson Young, just burying that right shoulder into the rib cage, in around that right arm, and forces the error. Took a bit of wind out of Hudson Young as well.
Back 10. Back 10.
And Newcastle, their own worst enemy at the moment. Kurt Mann coming from the field now.
Back 10. Look where the scrum is. Back we go. Chris back. Okay, let's go. Shot clock off. Head in. Wait, guys, break.
The Raiders from the back of the scrum find Fogarty and Savage jumping around. Ball comes free, he has it. Yet knock on, it's applauded by Randall and Clune. Savage has made a mistake, first play after the scrum.
Yeah, first play won't please Ricky Stewart. Bumping and pulling away, and the ball just comes free there. And he wasn't happy with the way the ball came free, Savage, but the senior players not buying into that, didn't want to challenge it.
Hey, Jamal, shot clock off.
Basami Solo about to come on for Newcastle.
Here's Milford with the upper body through the line. He was looking for support, couldn't find anyone. And now Dane Gagai. Randall sends it the same way, a flat ball for Clune. Likewise, he goes on to Saifiti. Clemmer out the back for Clune. Long to no one. Dominic Young racing onto the ball that was thrown forward. Come back, Dom. It's gone wrong earlier on.
Yeah, it's one of the areas where Hudson Young's game's really improved. His knowledge and his leg speed out on this left edge for Canberra. Just watch how he defends this on Adam Clune. Now, Clemmer goes to the line, double pumps and ball plays. He checks that lead, then re-accelerates and gets to the inside of Clune, just making him play earlier than he would have liked. Adam O'Brien can't believe it. And they're self-imploding, Newcastle. They cannot get through a set. Their attack looks awful.
Wait for the call. Wait. Break.
Looks awful.
They've handled it comfortably, Canberra. Half-time, Braithen Astor, Corey Parker and Cooper Cronk. We'll look at the first 40 here, and we'll hear from Josh Addo-Carr, about to perform for Canterbury against West Tigers. What about that combination, Burton and Addo-Carr?
Yeah, last week scintillating, wasn't it? That left boot, that golden left boot of Matty Burton and Addo-Carr's speed. So hard to defend.
Can they do it again against the Tigers coming up next? Just holding on in this first half, Newcastle. And it sounds funny to say that, doesn't it, when they're down 14-0.
Yep.
Still 6 minutes left here. Wolford goes to Frawley. Pumps his kick out towards Dominic Young, and it's too far. It's out on the full.
Yeah, great pressure. Tyson Frizzell, the experience of Newcastle there, the back rower coming out hard on Frawley. It was a slow play, the ball.
Steer.
And Frizzell just doing enough to unsettle Frawley's kick.
Wait, use the foot. Okay, let's go. Hold here.
And the ball just sails over the western touchline. Saulo now carrying hard through the middle. Can they get through a set here, Newcastle? Can they get to their points and get some sort of attacking shape on?
McClune brings Barnett into play. And Mitch has stopped 32 metres out. Beautiful sunny afternoon in the capital. And here's Milford. Did well to take the ball and get it away for Gagai. Chew off a few more metres. Clune collared by Horsburgh with Wolford in there as well. Ponga. Just found Pasami Saulo in the wrong position momentarily. Milford passing at the line for Clune. He can't pull through the tackle from Jamal Fogarty.
Yeah, good read from Fogarty. Had to be made that.
They're 10 out on the last. Newcastle. Milford kicking, looking for the height of Dominic Young. Instead, it's Chotrich. Really strong. Good take. Then he stays in the field of play.
Yeah, beautiful take, Nick Chotrich, the former Origin winger. Under pressure there from Dominic Young, who's a big man and good in the air. He did well. Again, Chotrich having a good afternoon. Newcastle again through that set of 6, persisting as Jordan Rapiner runs over the top of Tyson Frizzell, who's in a little trouble, just wobbling out of the tackle.
Is it grogginess or fatigue? The trainer's going straight to him now.
I think it's
Rapiner.
I think it was a head knock. I think they'll check Frizzell.
The bunker, no doubt, having a good look as they try to kick their way out of trouble. One of Newcastle's better defensive sets after that contact on Tyson Frizzell. We'll look at it again. Oh, it's the shoulder of Jordan Rapiner straight into the head.
The independent doctors asked the game to be stopped for Tyson Frizzell.
Yeah, had to, and it was the right call. He came wobbling out of the tackle, and it was a powerful run from Rapiner as Kurt Mann coming back into the action. But you don't see Tyson Frizzell come reeling out of tackles too often, and just the power of Jordan Rapiner carrying, and there was the wobble from Frizzell.
So Newcastle have possession, 3.5 left. They'd love a try, 14-6 at half-time. Would give them something. Some reason to stride into the shed at half-time. Saulo's a dummy half. Comes for Mann. Kurt Mann unable to offload. Final play. So Milford just chips. Where's the chaser? Coming through quickly, Adam Clune. Savage took no chances. Happy to go under the crossbar for a goal line dropout.
Yeah, good touch there from Anthony Milford, and it's when Newcastle have looked their best, when Clune and Milford are getting the footy in their hands early. They've manufactured a game plan over the summer that we saw in round 1 at the SCG, where it was predominantly Kurt Mann ball playing through the middle. But when you haven't got Kurt Mann in your side, you can't persist with the same structures. And you could see when Kurt Mann left the field before just how clunky the Knights' attack becomes. That time Clune and Milford getting ahead of the forwards and getting their hands on the ball.
The short kick here, Chotrich up high. He's knocked it for Randall. Randall's pass goes over the sideline off the Raiders. So the Knights will keep possession here.
Yeah, good work. Chotrich again. Gee, it's a good battle between him and Dominic Young at the moment. This time he was up over the top of Dane Gagai, and Hudson Young there just tapping the ball out. Saifidi now.
Are there points here for the Knights? Randall to Clune. He finds Barnett. Up quickly to make the tackle. It was a good one from Elliot Whitehead, who stayed on the ground. Set restart. 90 seconds left in the half. Ponga gets the ball away. Kurt Mann goes in. Just what the Knights needed. They've been on the ropes in the first half, but now they deliver a blow of their own.
Yeah, a bit of pressure. It started with an Anthony Milford kick for Adam Clune, got a repeat set of 6, and then with a bit of pressure on the Raiders goal line, it's Kalen Ponga just skipping on the outside of 1 or 2 defenders. And Kurt Mann punching into a hole, got on the outside there. Ponga of of Wolford attracted Hudson Young. And just pushing through a nice hole, Kurt Mann picks up Newcastle's first try of the afternoon. And at 14-4, it'll be 14-6 in a minute. With how poor they've been, all of a sudden they're not that far away.
Kurt Mann missed 5 games with that ankle injury, that torn artery. He returned last week via the bench. Now he's back where he played the first 7 games of the season. Starting lock or 13, middle forward for Adam O'Brien.
And he was really good to start the year. He transformed into that ball-playing 13, and it really took a lot of pressure off the Newcastle halves. But when he's not there, they still persist with that same game plan. They get guys like David Clemmer and Daniel and Jacob Saifidi ball playing as Ponga adds the extras. And it's not something they're comfortable with. They're better off letting them play the power game and getting the hands in. Adam Clune getting his hands on the footy early, so too Milford. Kalen Ponga injecting himself at first receiver. It's when Newcastle are at their most dangerous.
So only 5 seconds left on the clock. Look at the distribution from Kalen Ponga. It was the line run by Kurt Mann. So all of a sudden, the scoreboard looks respectable despite this dominance, sometimes complete domination by Canberra in the first 40.
Yeah, well, they missed a couple of opportunities, Canberra, when they really had Newcastle on the ropes. But Newcastle, to their credit, short kick-off here.
Got to go the 10, got to break the plane. Can they play the ball before the siren sounds? There's your answer, no. Enterprising play from the Raiders with 5 seconds left. Time beats them 3 tries to 1. Chotrich, Timoko and Savage before Kurt Mann gives the Knights reason for hope, reason to believe as they head to the break. The Raiders 14 lead Newcastle 6. Yeah, this is a big game for Ricky Stewart's Raiders and Adam O'Brien's Newcastle, both off defeats. The Raiders trying to stay on the edge of the top 8, and Newcastle, they're under fire for some substandard performances, even some moments labelled soft by their coach. So the emotion on show here in the first 40, and it's the Raiders leading 14-6 at GIO Stadium, where we'll return on Friday night, the Women's State of Origin. Only 5 days away, the Blues and the Maroons head-to-head in what should be a fantastic encounter if this year's NRLW, the first edition thereof, is any indication. But that's all ahead as part of Rep Round, the second half almost underway here on the Sunday ticket. Raiders Knights. We need Kalen Ponga to get over his first half illness, it appears, Michael.
Yeah, it's been a brave performance from the Newcastle fullback, clearly under the weather. We understand from the sideline that he's struggling with a stomach problem at the moment, but he battled his way through that first half, had a line break out of dummy half in the opening set, and then on the stroke of half-time got his side back into it with a beautiful ball close to the line for Kurt Mann to score. Matt Timoko had a wonderful opening half for the Raiders, really powerful. Out on that right edge, got some nice early ball, and his battle with Inari Tuala, he's clearly won that early. But the Raiders' second halves, Matty, they've struggled to find points. 8 times this year, they haven't been able to score a try. So by no means was Ricky Stewart comfortable at halftime at 14-6.
It's damning, isn't it? 8 trialless second halves for Canberra. And Ricky Stewart a little agitated at halftime. Certainly the body language suggested he was willing his team on for better in the second 40. We'll get down to Nico Pajarillo for a halftime report shortly. But Canberra looking to get through this first set from the kickoff. And just to underline your point regarding their second half struggles, they've scored 192 first half points this season, 192. Their second half total down to 72.
Yeah, it's
less
been
than half.
Staggering, hasn't it? But this is a massive game. An error now from Hudson Young. Great start from Newcastle here. A turnover, an opportunity to find points early. A full set inside the Raiders half. You'll be disappointed with that Hudson Young. Just trying to bump off Milford. Milford having his hands around the ball and a loose carry from Young.
Newcastle scored last in the opening half. Can they deliver the first try in the second? Wouldn't a 14-12 scoreline start to worry the Raiders, given their dominance so far? Milford now puts it down. He returns the favour. Watch out, Newcastle. Xavier Savage almost off and running. And I don't know how many Knights would be capable of running with him.
Well, it was Anthony Milford that first forced the turnover on Hudson Young, and Hudson Young returning serve the next set of 6, coming out hard on Anthony Milford, and Milford trying to ball play down the short side, and Young just gets his arm. Great play there from Hudson Young. Good response from the Raiders.
Hudson Young made the error for the Raiders and then gets one back from Newcastle, and now there's another mistake.
Yeah, Frawley, they like their chances down that left-hand side. Ricky Stewart livid. 2 sets in a row now to start the second half and 2 errors.
Nico Pajarillo, what was said at halftime?
Thanks, gentlemen. The halftime message from Knights coach Adam O'Brien was to concentrate on completions. Don't try to be too fancy. Keep it simple. As for Ricky Stewart, he wants a lot of energy, keeping the integrity of their defensive line and discipline. No silly offloads or turning over cheap possession. Also, gents, just reiterating, Tyson Frizzell, late in that first half, copped a knock and has since failed his HIA. He won't be back today.
Okay, so a setback for Adam O'Brien. The completions from both teams well below 70%. As man goes on for Croker.
Stand now.
And a bit of ball playing, and Pasami Saulo headed towards a hole. Last play here, Clune runs to the line, Grubbers, and it sits up perfectly for Xavier Savage.
He's had a couple of good positional moments to start this second half in Xavier Savage, but nice work from Newcastle. Clune just dabbing that kick in behind the Raiders line, and the Raiders under defensive pressure early on the back of their mistakes. Newcastle with a bit of energy.
The Knights 4-9, just the 4 wins for them this season as Adam Elliott heads across country and almost goes around the Newcastle Knights. Gagai it is pulling him down. Here's Young. Milford called by Frawley, and he gets the left foot kick down the sideline towards Dominic Young. Young, such a big body, as is the case for so many wingers these days, but Dominic Young still very early in his league journey. Here's the other big body, Edric Lee. Edric off to the Dolphins next year. Ponga. Been out of sorts today, Kalen Ponga, just 5 runs, 63 metres so far.
Yeah, look at it, he's still on his haunches. He's clearly hampered by this illness that he's brought into the game. If you've just joined us, I interviewed Kalen Ponga earlier today, and he just looked a little pale, didn't look himself.
Milford goes high, and Savage collects. The chase was well timed by Adam Clune after your interview. Nico had it confirmed sideline that Kalen Ponga was ill, a stomach complaint.
Yeah, I like this injection as well. Ricky Stewart's gone to the bench. Tom Starling about to come into the action for Canberra. Dynamic around the ruck. A great opportunity to try and break this game open with his speed. Needs to run the footy, Starling.
Speaking to Josh Hodgson pre-kickoff about the exciting 9s here at Canberra as it's put down and knocked on by the Raiders.
He's making a
Zach
tackle,
Wolford,
started on the arm.
Starling, Trevillion in reserve grade had his moments today as well.
They've got some good depth, don't they, in the dummy half position, and they're going to challenge this. Corey Horsburgh, the big red, he's furious.
Tackle, Jerry. We have a captain's challenge from the Raiders. They're disputing a decision of a loose carry knock-on.
Well, if they don't win this challenge, it's 3 errors in the opening 5 minutes of the second half from Canberra.
Just looking to see if there's any strip by the Newcastle players or whether Corey Horsburgh loses possession.
Well, we need to see the angle from the other side. I think it's a loose carry.
The Newcastle defenders are always making a tackle. There is no intention to strip. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Yeah, I think there's got to be more responsibility on the ball carry there.
You could argue that Jacob Saifidi's hand touched the ball, but it wasn't
certainly
a classic strip. It was a poor carry that saw the ball come free.
And no challenges now left for Canberra. Newcastle again getting invited into the contest. You know, listening to Nico, who was in the Raiders sheds at half-time, and listening to Ricky Stewart talk about controlling the footy and how important possession was, and he'll be livid with the start from Canberra. 3 errors to start the second half.
Sorry, Mick, since the 25th minute, Canberra have completed 4 of 12 sets. They're 1 of 4 since half-time. And Kalen Ponga wants to cash in. 12 of 4 completions since the 25th minute.
Good run, Solo. That's a little better from Newcastle.
And they spread out now to the left. Clune goes on to Milford. Barnett goes unused. And Milford takes tackle 3.
You're right, Anthony.
Milford slow back to his feet. He goes straight back to his haunches after playing the ball. Clune, man, Ponga. Here's some room for Gagai outside to Dominic Young. But the pass was a poor one. It goes over the sideline and they blow it.
Yeah, they did well there, Newcastle, to get Gagai on the outside of Sebastian Chris. This is the drama with Anthony Milford, really slow to his feet. He's limping back into the defensive line now, but this was the shape, and again it's Man and Ponga combining. Got Gagai on the outside of Chris, and Dominic Young, a chance gone begging there. Rapana was under pressure. It was a 2-on-1 situation that they needed to get right, Newcastle.
Yeah, Chotrich was a sitting duck. They couldn't shoot straight. There's Papali'i taped up, prepares to return. His first half, Josh Papali'i, 8 carries, 90 run metres. And there's an offload. Here's some room. Dominic Young makes an important tackle.
Papali'i coming back into the action, Matt. Adam Elliott's off the field. Canberra in good attacking position.
Last play now, though. Frawley it is. Will kick out towards the wing. It's pushed backwards by Canberra. Picked up by Xavier Savage, who gets the second kick in. It goes into the in-goal. Adam Clune, work to do. Too much work for Adam. He looked up and saw nothing but lime green. It's the stuff of Newcastle nightmares.
Yeah, again, it's Chotrich winning the battle up in the air. This was the line break. Adam Elliott making a difference in this second half. He got the ball around the corner to Hudson Young. Young did well to hang on to it because Dominic Young was coming across, and then on the back of that, on the last play, the ball was bouncing around. Savage picks it up, dribbles it into the in-goal, and the Raiders now with back-to-back sets on Newcastle's line. Defining moment defensively here for Newcastle coming up.
Ponga's goal line drop out again. It's a wobbly one. It skews off the boot. It's collected by the Raiders. And Papali'i will settle things. Starling. And through the middle of the ground, the Raiders. Ryan Sutton, jumper 15. Papali'i. Stopped by Barnett.
Yeah, this headband's agitating, Josh. That's twice now he's having to lift it.
Fogarty puts the ball away for Young. Now there's another knock for Milford.
Yeah.
He's in the wards.
Wrong Hudson
Horsburgh. Now Fogarty trying to step his way through. The hole closed courtesy Clune, Barnett, Randall. This is the last play. The Raiders applying the blowtorch right here. Starling flung to ground, and Barnett says, give me the ball.
Yeah, Ricky Stewart not happy there. Starling going in circles, and it was Barnett that just swarmed on top of him, the former Raider.
Okay, let's go.
David Clemmer back into the action. Both coaches bringing experience on. Papali'i, the last set for Canberra, injected by Ricky Stewart. Now Adam O'Brien going to his big serviceman in David Clemmer.
Next up, Canterbury West's Tigers, Adam Dewey, making his return from that knee reconstruction. The Tigers beat the Dogs a month ago, 36-22. What happens this afternoon? Head-to-head for the second time in quick succession. Now, man.
Good run. Kurt Mann trying to find some space in behind the ruck.
He plays tough. Now, Milford has to hurry the kick. It goes down to Savage.
Yeah, well, Ricky Stewart knows just how important this result is at home this afternoon. The Raiders sitting just outside the top 8, and yeah, there you go, Joseph Tarpany, the form forward of the competition, about to come back into the action. Horsburgh coming towards the sideline as a relieving penalty. David Clemmer in deep discussions here with Ashley Klein. He's not happy.
Breakdown. Time's up.
This has been a circus for Newcastle. That's twice David Clemmer's been to the referee this afternoon asking to challenge, but Kalen Ponga's, he's 40 metres back at fullback.
Despite not playing a lot more minutes, Tarpany's average run metres, 146, way above his previous career high at 116.
Oh, he's been enormous, man. He's been sensational. The last 6 weeks have been unbelievable from Tarpany.
Throwing the 30 offloads during the season. Is there another one coming here? Tarpany tried to position himself to promote some second phase, but now plays the ball. So Starling on for Papali'i. Fogarty off the back of them. And Young will take the tackle. Sutton to Papali'i. There's some depth in this Canberra pack when Corey Huddlewood-Oneida has to play New South Wales Cup. Well, I knew Lachlan Fitzgibbon did likewise for the Knights. Last play, the grubber, turning Newcastle around again. It's mission impossible for Adam Clune. And Xavier Savage grabs him.
Yeah, 2 repeat sets now for the Canberra side. And again, it's Adam Clune back there to save the day for Newcastle. Ponga having to come forward. Caught in the front line defensively, and Fogarty it was that just kicked back on the inside, and the speed of Savage enough to force the repeat set of 6.
The kick down to Frawley, who sends Big Papa on his way. Josh Papali'i will be way up above the 28 minutes he played against Brisbane last game. Now Tarpany. Starling through Frawley. Sutton back to Frawley. Savage joins in and kicks, turning Young around. And Dominic Young shuts it down. The kick. What about that option, Mick?
Yeah, a little rush of blood there. I could see what he was trying to do, but Chotrich wasn't ready for it. Dominic Young doomed to have knocked the footy on here.
Oh.
Quickly.
Yeah, he lost it.
Hey. No, you guys did. You guys lost the challenge. No, I didn't accept it. The time ran out. Okay, we have a captain's challenge from Newcastle disputing the decision that Dominic Young has knocked on.
So Savage out the back, saw some space in behind Dominic Young, wanted to kick for Chotrich, but Chotrich not ready. And there's no doubt that ball
just looking to
comes
see
through,
if Dominic
doesn't it?
Young gains possession cleanly and doesn't knock the ball on.
I'll come back to Elliot Whitehead in a moment. He's got a memory like an elephant. So here's Dominic Young. Ooh. Is that a knock on?
It looked on the other angle like Young loses control of the ball in the ground actually is what forces it back to, although his hand's underneath it, isn't it?
Is he promoting the ball towards the opposition goal line? That's the other element of it.
Well, it's probably going backwards, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just looking to see if Dominic Young always has the right hand under the ball and retain possession.
I think he loses it backwards. I think the ground actually forces it back towards his.
Okay. The challenge is successful. Dominic Young gains possession and retains the ball.
Retains it. The tackle. Well, that'd be, if that was a try-scoring opportunity, I'd be fascinated to see if that was their ruling. I'd be fascinated if they didn't use the terminology, he hasn't re-gripped the footy.
Well, Jared Sutton in the bunker, ruling in favour of Newcastle, who keep their challenge, and the Raiders muscle up now. Tarpany on Gagai. Kiwi on Queenslander. That's how they'll be engaged next weekend.
Yeah, Gagai. That's
from Gagai.
Yeah, second run of the set. He's fired up. The home fans are fired up. There's a bit of feeling in this. Both clubs, I get the sense that they know that their seasons are on the line here.
That's strong. from Hudson Young, throwing, slamming David Clemmer into the ground. And now Milford's trapped and the crowd loves it.
Oh, last tackle. They're going to say this was a strip and they've got no challenge, Canberra. They had him on the 30-metre line, cornered, backed him into a corner on the last. Smart play, Anthony Milford. He just lets the footy go. Really smart play from Anthony Milford. He's got himself a repeat set of 6. Barnett now.
And Canberra had blown their challenge.
Bit of gamesmanship from Anthony Milford, the former Raider.
Clemmer loves it when the feeling increases. Randall to Ponga. Ponga across the ground now. Anari Tuala.
Ponga's been levelled in back play. Ponga has been absolutely levelled in back play.
Time off. No, leave him, Josh.
He gets a penalty as a result. He's in the wars. He's ill. He had to pass all the concussion protocols during the week, and it was Elliott Whitehead.
Yeah, that was late. He might be in some trouble here, Elliott Whitehead.
You have the opportunity here to reduce the force in this tackle. There's significant
he's
whiplash.
gone.
You're on your port and you're in the bin.
Yeah.
That's the decision.
They're down to 12 men. Ash Klein sending Elliott Whitehead, the Raiders leader, to the sin bin.
He scores, though.
Hey?
If he doesn't, he scores.
I'm not going to argue. The decision's been made, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Back here. Let's go, Jordan. Who's your captain now? Yeah. You are? Josh? Are you captain, mate? Is he off? Come on. Get up. No tackles.
So tap and go. It's David Clemmer. And Newcastle sensing that they're creating some momentum here.
Yeah, some shape out to this right-hand side for Newcastle. They're short Canberra.
Randall sends it that way. Here's Saifiti. Back towards the posts. Held by Tarpany.
Notice the damage. You tackle them. Release now. Hold here.
Plume. Finding Barnett. Milford hit the ground in back play. Now Randall to Milford. Milford trying to use some strength here. He's driven backwards. Jamal Fogarty. Clune takes the line on. And he's held by Papali'i and Tarpany. Brave run, Clune, towards the 2 starting props at Canberra. Man, Ponga. Ponga's kick through the line. It sits up beautifully. Matthew Croker. Matty Croker scores Newcastle's second try. And it's his fullback and captain delivering the kick.
Yeah, the first set after Elliott Whitehead's gone to the sin bin for a late shot on Kalen Ponga, the superstar fullback. He stands up and delivers a beautiful deft kick into the in-goal for Croker, who's really starting to find his way at the top level. This was the sin bin from Whitehead late and knocking Ponga off his feet. And down to 12, the Raiders. What a great defensive set it was. But again, the combination, the ball playing of man, finding Kalen Ponga 2 passes wide of the ruck, bringing up that left edge of the Raiders' defensive line, gets the weight perfect on the kick, and Croker gets it down inches inside the dead ball line. Newcastle right back in it here at GIO Stadium.
A great way for the interchange forward to score his first NRL try. He was punching the ground, not in disappointment, in delight. His first try in the top grade, the 22-year-old, in his second year of NRL at the Knights.
There's Tyson Frizzell. He's been ruled out with a HIA. A collision earlier in the game with Jordan Rapana. Unable to come back, but Newcastle, his side, rallying. And it's this man, Ponga, coming up with some big moments. If you've just joined us, Newcastle down 14-0 somehow. Could have been 24-0 at half-time. But on the stroke of the break, it was this man out of dummy half that found Kurt Mann. Put him over for their try. And as he adds the extras here, it was his boot again that laid on the try for Croker. And Newcastle now within 2.
Nico Pajarillo
Absolutely fantastic effort there from Matt Croker, the Taree Junior. As you mentioned, Matty, just 22 years of age, came through the grades at Newcastle and eventually won the club's New South Wales Cup Players Player Award. Got his shot in the NRL last year and he's certainly shown a lot of promise, Matt Croker.
Well,
fantastic.
Newcastle, they just had to find a way to win here this afternoon. The top 8 getting away from them for Canberra. Whilst their form's been great, 4 wins from their last 6. They can ill afford to let the top 8 get away from a chance to be level with 8 if they can win. The seasons are on the line here for both sides.
And when do the demons of their second half performances, their trialist second halves, their surrendering of leads, when do they start to really appear in the back of their mind?
Oh yeah, they're there, don't worry about that. Newcastle, you can see there, they're up now on the live ladder into 12th. Well, they're still in 12th, I beg your pardon. Trying to stay in touch with that top 8.
So that's as if full time was blown right now. So if Canberra continue the comeback, or Newcastle, continue the comeback, they'll join the Raiders on 12 points. Last play now, and it's the Knights through Milford. Just lobs the ball between the 2 men at the back, and Savage it is who cleans up. He can't get beyond 15 metres from his goal line.
Yeah, Newcastle have lifted here. The Raiders, big men struggling to get back behind the footy. How much of a toll has the last 4 or 6 weeks taken after losing 5 in a row? The effort, the energy and commitment to get themselves back into the competition. And Newcastle, on the back of the try from Croker, have lifted.
There's still more than 6 minutes with Elliott in the sin bin. Elliott Whitehead, that is. So down to 12
Great
men
run.
for 6 minutes
Great
still.
run.
And Tarpany. He was looking for an offload for about 12 metres in that run. Now Frawley. The left foot kick, bringing Ponga forward. He knocks it on. Canberra clean up. And they get a fresh set from 12 metres out.
Ball came on the back of the run from Tarpany. What about that? 30 metres upfield with the ball in one hand.
Damaging to say the least. Now Papali'i. Speaking of damaging.
Oh, yeah.
Starling for Fogarty. Ryan Sutton. Bound for the Bulldogs on a 3-year deal starting next year. Fogarty. Here's Frawley. Hudson Young straightens. And it's an important tackle by Randall down low. Right at the line, Papali'i.
Tackle. Kurt Mann, brave.
Not for the first time today. Now the kick. It goes through the line and Edric Lee swats it over the dead ball line after a bounce. It wasn't the most convincing play by Edric.
You speak about Matty Burton and Josh Addo-Carr. What about this combination of Fogarty and Xavier Savage? The speed of those 2 wonderful athletes in our game. Timoko there as well. But the acceleration just has everyone in this Knights side nervous when Savage is around the play. Can they find a try, the Raiders? Can they find a second half try here, Matthew?
Well, 8 times this season they haven't. Papali'i. Still dominating possession and territory significantly, Canberra. They'll continue to do so if this man sees more ball. Joe Tarpany. Already up past 140 run metres. Fogarty through the hands. Hudson Young. Get out of my way. Couple of times there with Simi Sasangi, the second man dispatched. He's a handful, Hudson. Starling.
Good shot,
On to
Barnett.
Fogarty.
He's done a good job pressuring Fogarty from the inside this afternoon.
There's some resolve to this Newcastle defence, but it needs to keep on going against the likes of Tarpany and Papali'i. It's tackle 5. Big play now. And it goes through Frawley. Savage to Chris, it's forward. Xavier Savage has thrown it forward, and Adam O'Brien is out of his chair applauding that resolve.
Yeah, really good defensive set there from Newcastle, getting off their line, good leg speed and getting in the face of the Raiders' attack. Poor last play there from Canberra. Just needed to manage these moments without Elliott Whitehead still off the field. A chance to get the ball back into the end goal and continue to keep Newcastle under pressure. Needed to do better there, Canberra.
Straight after this game, a contest that some people have dubbed the Cameron Ciraldo Shield. Canterbury against West Tigers. Cameron Ciraldo in charge of Penrith last night, with Ivan Cleary still resting and recovering that knee. We hope you're back bigger and better than ever in no time at all, Ivan.
Yeah, loose offload there from Newcastle. Caleb Ponga had to go back and get the footy. Dane Gagai that picks it up. They've lost 20 metres. Clement now trying to recover some of those.
With an offload, Clune was there. The timing was just a little bit out. And Clement wisely holds the ball. So it's Milford kicking the ball back across his body. And again, it sits up for Savage, but Barnett had flown through. He was offside, says Ash Klein. Which sort of makes sense. He got there very quickly.
Yeah, he's trying to inspire his teammates, Barnett.
Every player's in front just about.
Every moment in this second half, he's trying to instill some energy into this Newcastle defensive line, and only fractionally offside, but it's the right call, and then he just accelerates for contact collision, trying to force an error. It's going to be a good signing for the Warriors, isn't he, Barnett?
On the line, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, well, Canberra, again, gifted field position. Tapping the ball on the halfway line here. Timokov.
Just straight and hard into the teeth of the Newcastle defence. 16 and a half minutes left, and it's Canberra by 4. In the first half, they seemed in complete control. They led it 14-0. Now they're scrambling, they're searching for a second half try. They want some breathing space. Starling, the offload to Frawley. And for Hudson Young.
That's where they need to go, Canberra. Starling out of dummy half. They just got to plough through the middle. That's when they're at their most dangerous. Getting Tarpany and Papali'i offloading. The moment they're trying to go around Newcastle.
Hudson Young, bit of gamesmanship there, holding the leg of Croker as the ball comes out to the right. Fogarty. The seconds are ticking away before Elliott Whitehead can return. Last play as Frawley again heads out towards Dominic Young. It's still there and it's still the last. Rapana fires it long for Chotrich off his hand and into touch. But now it's 13 on 13 again.
Yeah, Whitehead back out there now. And again, Chotrich and Savage out on that left-hand side. They're giving Dominic Young and Dane Gagai troubles all afternoon with those high kicks. They batted it back and Rapana unable to land the pass for Chotrich, who had some space in front of him and a clear passage to the try line.
Newcastle concede more tries from kicks than any team in the competition,
Good
so you
run.
can understand Canberra's tactic as you look at Dominic Young. Not for the first time today, really wind up.
Yeah, he's really got the set out of trouble, and now on the back of it, Jacob Saifidi carrying hard.
Comes across through Simi Sasangi. And Clune parks himself to the left of the ruck and gets it now. On to Barnett, back to Clune. They're into the backfield. Clune races away. Edric Lee, he's too strong. He's too big, and he was too close. Newcastle score the try to lock it up, to go to the lead, to go in front of the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, really nice work here, and it's Barnett. We've just spoken about how important he is to this Newcastle side and how good he's going to be for the Warriors. And Adam Clune going deep into the line. Barnett pushing hard just on the inside of Fogarty. And Clune did well to get the ball to Edric Lee. Now, he just had to make that tackle, Xavier Savage. He had to go hard in at the legs. He went high on Edric. But it all started there. A great line on the outside of Whitehead. The pass back inside for Clune. Tarpany lunge. Can you believe that he's there, the big man? Great work from Joseph Tarpany, but that had to be made from Savage. Had to go in hard at the legs. You can't go high. You cannot go high on Edric Lee. It's where all his power is, and he just gets that big right-hand fend out, holds off Savage, does tremendously well. And Edric Lee, who's had a wretched run with injury, gets Newcastle in front. And the Knights fans that are here at GIO, they've responded. Down 14-0. They're back in front.
Picked up a foot injury. He played Origin late in 2020 when it was at the back end of the year and didn't return to the NRL until earlier this season. And he's
train and trial deal, am I right?
Yep, train and trial. But fought through and now has won that new deal at the Dolphins. And he scored the try that sends Newcastle in front, and there's some icing from Kalen Ponga. They're out 18-14, having trailed 14-0. A penny for your thoughts, Ricky.
Yeah, well, you could see the intensity in Ricky Stewart at half-time. He knew that 14-6 just wasn't enough. They had been so dominant in that opening 40 minutes, as we see Josh Addo-Carr in good spirits and great form. And an opportunity to barnstorm his way back into a Blues jersey. Tremendous last week against Parramatta. And it's all here for Canberra to do, down 18-14 with 12 and a half minutes remaining. Gagai.
Oh, that's skillful. Dane Gagai, he made that look much easier.
Bit of futsal
than it is.
Look at that, 3 straight tries to Canberra, and Newcastle have responded in the same manner. How important was that try on the stroke of half-time for Kurt Mann?
Bit of team news for the game to follow. Bulldogs, Tigers. Corey Waddell to start for the Bulldogs. Alex Twal caught into the starting front row for the Tigers. So Faitala Mariner and Tamo to come off the bench for the respective teams. But right here, Newcastle, what a comeback it has been. They were paddling in the first half.
They were. They had some really poor moments in that first half. Their attack looked clunky. The last tackle now, Milford goes to the air.
This will take some catching. It's very high above GIO Stadium. Put down by Chotrich and picked up by Simi Sasangi. He puts the ball on the ground. Croker cleans up.
Well, the Canberra middles, look at the spaces towards the posts. They're out on their feet, some of their big men. Chotrich unable to catch the footy, and Newcastle now. Can they land the killer blow?
Clemmer barking at his teammates as he dragged the defence with him. Milford, beautiful ball, good tackle. Hudson Young around the legs of Croker, who was looking at a double. Now Young, Dominic Young.
He's lost the ball. I think he's lost the ball, Matthew.
Jerry, we're coming up to tackle 3. I have no try.
So does Ashley Klein.
Confirm that Dominic Young loses the ball.
It was great work from Dane Gagai out of dummy half. There was some space on the outside of Sebastian Chris. And the effort from Chris. The lunging effort from Sebastian Chris, the try saver.
We just need to see whether that is short of the line.
He just had to get the ball down, Young. He should have got that down. I think does he lose it on does it bounce on the line?
They're playing their own game.
The ball rolls up around the top of the wrist. I think it comes down on the goal line, but he's entitled to re-grip the ball, having lost it initially.
Ooh, the old re-grip. Caused a few coaches some heartache, the old re-grip, hasn't it?
Okay. After he loses the ball, it touches the corner post. We have a decision.
It's caused a few commentators some agitation.
Yes.
The re-grip,
hasn't it? To tackle 1 or something, they'll play it on.
He's having a good time out there, Ashley.
Just wait, Tom, just wait. Wait till it comes on the screen. Okay.
Chance really gone begging there for Newcastle. He should have scored that, Dominic Young. It was great work from Gagai out of dummy half.
Ash Klein, the Origin referee, as he keep that position for Origin 2.
Horsburgh back into the action now. Joseph Tarpany's come from the field for Canberra.
Just under 11 minutes to play. Here's Adam Elliott, fending clear of the defenders. Starling flat for Papali'i. And the crowd certainly willing Canberra on here, and Adam Elliott responds. Great run from Adam Elliott.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. That'll get him up over 100 metres carrying the footy this afternoon. 33 tackles for no misses. He's been tremendous. Adam Elliott through the middle.
Now it's Horsburgh. Stubborn. He stays on his feet. And Fogarty completes. It's a kick out towards Edric Lee. It's grabbed instead by Rapana, knocked on by Elliott Whitehead. And Newcastle eventually get the ball. Lee now.
Oh, he's in trouble, Jordan Rapana. That was big contact.
So 14-0 leaders Canberra before Kurt Mann scored in the 39th minute. Matt Croker in the 56th. Edric Lee in the 66th. And here's Milford.
But dangerous at times, Milford, when he's decided to run and put the foot down.
4 games into his NRL return in his first year at Newcastle. After 7 at Brisbane, and of course a start here.
Inside.
Clune gets the kick away nice and early. It goes towards the sideline. And now Savage puts it in play. Knocks it on. Xavier Savage has come up with the blunder. And Newcastle have pounced on him. It was the 40-20. Xavier Savage tried to stop. Instead, he set up a Newcastle try.
Yeah, Kalen Ponga really smart. Knew that Adam Clune wanted the footy, got himself the dummy half and rifled the pass to him. And Clune drove it perfectly. Called into the side late. Jake Clifford left out and out of position. Had to get on his bike. Xavier Savage and Unari Tuala there did a really good job to make him uncomfortable. He was unable to hang on to it. It looked for all money to be going out. It looked like a brilliant play for a moment until the Knights defenders came into the picture. He couldn't hold on to it, Savage, and Edric Lee won't get an easier one than that. But I don't know if he'll get a more important one. Newcastle season. A chance to get back on track here in the nation's capital. And the Canberra Raiders, as we see Jordan Rapana, the disappointment there on Savage's face, but Jordan Rapana, we saw that collision earlier with Edric Lee. He's now come from the field. Young Schiller about to come on. Hold on. Did Inari Tuala touch the ball?
Inari Tuala knocks the ball on.
Well, that's the question being asked, and if we're having that review, I suggest to you the answer is yes, Michael.
He reaches all aspects of play to this point. The ball is knocked on by Xavier Savage
and then touches
the hand of Inari Tuala. We have a double knock on, the first knock on being against Canberra.
You know who just breathed the biggest sigh of relief in Australia?
Just underneath us, Ricky Stewart. I could hear the...
I was thinking more about the man wearing number 1 out there.
Yes. Yeah. So did 11,000 Raiders fans here at GIO. It was deflating when Edric Lee picked up that footy.
So Jordan Rapana goes HIA. Xavier Savage dodges a bullet because of that little touch from Inari Tuala, and it stays 4 points the difference.
Well, they've got to defend this set, Canberra. And 9 minutes remaining in this match.
Biting around, Hudson.
After a 14-0 lead and that pure dominance that they had in the opening half an hour of this game.
Come on, let's go.
They've got to find a way back into it, and it starts with their defence now.
Ponga off the back of the scrum. Still the best of 9 minutes left here before we go back to Sydney for Canterbury against West Tigers. As your Sunday ticket continues, Clemmer walking his way inside the 10. Behind Leo Thompson, it's Clune for Jacob Saifiti. He's wrapped up by Starling and Papali'i.
Milford wants the ball out to the right.
And he'll get it. Man heard the call. Through Milford, it's put down by Croker. And there's the first box ticked by Canberra in their bid to come late. Oh, Adam isn't coaching sometimes a horrible job.
It was a nil walk out of the box. Now with that penalty, it was the right play from Milford. It was a lovely pass from dummy half, and Croker got on the inside. Sebastian Chris had raced out of the line, and there was some space in behind. Croker just couldn't hang on to the ball. And then a penalty on the back of it has the Raiders now up towards the 40-metre line. Papali'i carrying hard.
14 points in the first 26 minutes, Canberra, none since.
Only 6 offloads today, Canberra.
Rory Horsburgh. 7.5 left. Problem for Jacob Saifidi, cramping sideline. As Fogarty goes to the defence again. He takes tackle 4. Only just beyond halfway. Elliott Whitehead. What's the final play here? It will come from Frawley, who tried to launch the torpedo. It's not a bad one. Kalen Ponga stands and catches. Beats a couple, heads across field, and eventually goes beyond his 20-metre line.
Yeah, good take there from Kalen Ponga. Wobbly torpedo bomb from Matt Frawley. And Dominic Young now doing the hard yards.
Chris Randall, a dummy half, goes to Gagai.
Yeah, listen to the home fans. They know how important this one is. Right behind the Raiders.
If they could somehow snatch this, the Raiders set up a game with the Dragons next round to knock the Dragons away from that top 8 position. A long way to go until that, as Milford puts it in the air, out towards the wing, and it's taken by Chotrich. Despite the pressure from Gagai. Frawley, called by Seb Chris.
Well, the Raiders winning the power game still at 1,400 metres today compared to 1,200, but this is where we saw last week, as dominant as they were through the middle against the Broncos, their spine need to stand up, their playmakers, their decision makers need to stand up and need some creativity. Schiller with a strong run now. Need some spark from the Raiders' spine.
His first football of the afternoon. That was a good opening run. Now there's big contact in on Starling. It came from Leo Thompson, who started in the forwards today. Frawley again gets that left foot torp going, but again there's no real pressure on Ponga. He catches safely and then accelerates into Elliott Whitehead and Adam Elliott. Oh, now Edric Lee, he did well to evade Corey Horsburgh. What was he doing?
It was like watching a car crash that. I could see the big red dome just flying across the field. And Edric Lee just did enough to evade him. Look at this. Oh, he ends up with the cannonball roll. You gotta love Horsburgh.
Clemmer, and they're about to make their final interchange, the Raiders. Inside the last 5 will be Joe Tarpany back out there to try and pinch it. Milford. High, out towards Chotrich again. Young stabs it backwards, picked up by Milford. Gets away from one, no, he's held by the bootlaces. Is that passed off the ground? The crowd thinks so.
Hold of him by the leg, Nick Chotrich.
Hand over there, time's up.
Literally.
Give him the ball. Don't waste time.
Held onto his ankle, and Milford unable to get the pass away. And when he did, he was on the ground. Look at this from Chotrich. He just hangs onto that left ankle. Great call from Ashley Klein. Canberra holding on by the skin of their teeth. Papali'i off, Tarpany on.
The Raiders trying to avoid their 9th loss after leading by double figures. That goes back to the start of last season. 9 times run down with a double-figure lead, unless there's a big final 4 minutes. What are your instructions, Mick? If you're coaching the Raiders right now, how do you want them to attack as you look at a problem here?
Yeah, Schiller's in big trouble. Looks like he's clutching at a collarbone. Slow to get up and play the ball. Is it a rib or a collarbone?
He's trying to get into a wing position, but he's got one arm. He can't stay out there.
No, and Jordan Rapin has already left the field. That's why he's on there.
They've got no interchanges left, as you see. Fogarty kick and chase collected by Lee. He's on top of his own goal line. Canberra would kill for an error here from Newcastle.
Yeah, compress up their defensive line and try and force an error. Good work there from Timoko out of marker. Rapina, for the people at home, I can see him. He's just come to the sideline, standing in the tunnel. He left the field with a HIA. Adam O'Brien, everyone's on their feet here at GIO.
Out of interchanges, they have to leave the injured player out there, James Schiller, playing with one arm as Barnett comes forward. Still get a full set, Canberra.
He's going the chip.
As Milford chips and chases. It's still there. Milford gets it back. Goes to Clemmer. Clemmer kicks for the outside men. It's there for Savage again. Picked up by Edric Lee. Still the last. Amari Tarana. Another kick
back there
from Clune and Joe Tarpany.
Gets out of the in goal. Can you believe it? Joseph Tarpany, what form he's in.
What great rugby league this is.
And a penalty. Anthony Milford winding back the clock, the chip over the top, spectacular. It looks superb.
What about Clemmer's kick?
David Clemmer's kick, I forgot about it. Xavier Savage, he's running like a wounded deer. They're all out on their feet, the players. David Clemmer's kick.
So, inside the final 2 minutes. Newcastle 18 points without answer. The first 14 of the game to Canberra. Who scores the last points of the game, or have they been scored? Adam Elliott to the line, and there in support, it was Hudson Young. Adam Elliott, Adam O'Brien out of his chair. Desperately hoping for a run. Hudson Young gets there for the Canberra Raiders. Hudson Young surging through, winning the race and igniting GIO Stadium. 11,000 fans stood as one and cheered their edge forward, Michael
Look at this, Dane Gagai giving an absolute spray to Ashley Clyde. He's furious. But it's Hudson Young, the man of the moment. What an afternoon, what form he's in. The edge back roll from Canberra and out of dummy half. Realising Kalen Ponga was caught at the ruck, no one back there. Rolls it onto the left boot, comes through and gets the footy down. Does he get it down? My word, he does. Canberra level with a kick to come. 1 minute remaining. They go the full length of the field. And on the back of a brilliant play from Anthony Milford, chip over the top, a kick from David Clemmer, a kick back in field from the Newcastle attack. And who was there? Joseph Tarpany, the front rower. Again there to save the day. They go all the way down the field. And Hudson Young, who has been tremendous for Canberra this season, scores a brilliant individual try, great solo try. And Newcastle left shell-shocked.
Hudson Young gets his 5th try of the season. The 24-year-old. Adam O'Brien, it's a cruel game and it is a crazy game. A crazy, crazy game. David Clemmer kicking for outside men. Then the opposition edge forward, Grubbers for himself to score what might be the match winner.
Well, only 1 from 3 today, Fogarty. Is he a certainty? He should be able to throw it over from there.
Just to the left of the uprights. This to nudge Canberra back in front by 2. Can they lead the game again? Fogarty lifts the flags and the crowd. Ryan Sutton sideline. Hudson Young on the field.
Short kick-off. Do you go to Dominic Young? Do you go to Edric Lee? You've got to go to...
Make sure everyone stays behind.
Well, there's options both sides. Edric Lee, Dominic Young. Who do you back?
Guys, make sure you stay
They're
behind.
saying this side. They're actually looking to the sideline,
Canberra as well.
waiting for the blue shirt trainer of the Newcastle Knights to signal which side the coach, I think, wants to attack.
Now they need a kicking team.
Oh, look at the fans. Look at this. The home fans going berserk. Schiller, what a brave performance it's been from him. They're out of interchanges. Canberra have been out there for the last 5 minutes. Schiller with some sort of shoulder or collarbone injury and can't leave the field.
Wow, how big will that Hudson Young try prove in the weeks and months to come?
This season, yeah.
The short kick-off, they position it for Dominic Young. He pushes it backwards and diving on the ball for Canberra. It's Tommy Starling. Zach Wolford says we're home. Ryan Sutton says we're home. But there are 20 seconds still to navigate. Ashley Klein hasn't said Canberra are home yet. What a brave fight back by Newcastle.
Unbelievable, yeah.
We went within a whisker, went within a Joe Tarpany moment of magnificence from closing out the game.
In the moment where they said Tuala knocked the ball on.
That is it. The Canberra Raiders come late to beat the Newcastle Knights, who had fought so bravely and looked to have the game won at 18-14. It's Hudson Young grubbering and chasing and scoring to deliver a smile to the face of Ricky Stewart. They stay on the edge of the top 8. They keep this roll going. Now 5 of their last 7 won by Canberra. But spare a thought for the Knights, down on their luck and fighting hard here without anything. After 80 brilliant minutes of rugby league, it's the Raiders 20 beating the Knights 18.